It was brave of the Prime Minister to bring forward the Internal Market Bill. In doing so, he effectively confessed that the Withdrawal Agreement, WA, and, if implemented, its Northern Irish Protocol, NIP, would result in the annexation of Northern Ireland. So bringing a bill forward to rectify that enormous constitutional defect was exactly the right thing to do. Having brought it forward, he then had to see it through. Sadly, he seems to have blinked at the first sign of parliamentary trouble, apparently agreeing that the new act would not be brought into action without a further ruling in Parliament. It may not yet feel like it, but this latest round of yo-yoing from Boris Johnson has taken the country to the edge of another constitutional crisis and handed the whip hand in negotiations to the EU. No amount of bravado will now convince anyone the NIP is anything other than damaging to the fabric of our union, and yet he has signalled to the EU that he does not possess the ability to take the necessary action to neuter it. In less than a year of winning a thumping majority, he has lost control. The EU will be watching all this with glee. It will assess the UK cannot now afford a no-deal exit from transition period. Down that road would lie the need for the UK to break international law, get the hugely controversial necessary legislation through Parliament, potentially alienate the United States and risk triggering a trade war with the EU. Only the strongest and most capable of leaders, having planned meticulously for it, would have the courage for all that. Blinking the first time the bill passed through the Commons suggests strongly the Prime Minister is not ready for such a battle. Adding to the Prime Minister's woes is the fact he has left this all until the 11th hour and made no proper preparations for a no-deal exit or a trade spat. If reports are to be believed, the UK is hardly ready for any form of exit from the EU, let alone one which would necessitate a completely different approach to the management of goods and trade across the EU. Inspired problematic Northern Irish border and take on the ire of at least the EU and possibly also the United States. The political stakes of a no-deal exit have just gone through the roof. The pressure on Mr. Johnson to avoid this and get a deal done are now huge. None of this was necessary and none of it is in the UK's national interest. The odds must now be on the government dealing with the NIP in a completely different way. That would be by signing a deal which closely aligns the UK to EU laws, thereby masking its ill effects. In other words, we look set to get Brexit in name only. Any deal done is bound to be described as fantastic, but these latest shenanigans have most likely put paid to that possibility. A golden rule of negotiating is not to make threats on which you are not prepared to act. The IM bill was a necessary proportionate threat, big step in the right direction. It took the fight to the EU. By backing off so quickly, he has called his own bluff and revealed his weak hand. The vote for Brexit was a cry from the silent majority. Will their cry ever be heeded?